Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to go over a couple quotes. I just have two. By a guy named Miyamoto Musashi. He was a Japanese samurai. There's documentaries about him. I suggest you check him out. He's a pretty fascinating guy, and he wrote a book. I forget what it's called. I think it's called the Book of Numbers or something, and it's got a lot of good quotes. He is known for his warrior wisdom. And the guy was a pretty badass warrior. Amazing sword fighter. He had a tactic of frustrating his enemy, getting his enemy angry. If he could get his enemy frustrated, use their emotions against them, he knew he could win a battle even against somebody who may have been better than him, stronger than him, who could have otherwise beat him. And he had this tactic where he would show up, he would schedule these battles, these sword fights, with these other really badass samurai warriors. Real mean motherfuckers. These would be to the death. And he would show up late, like hours late. Right when everybody's getting ready to leave, these people are pissed. They're like, that motherfucker, that son of a bitch. And they're pissed, they're furious, and they're getting ready to pack up and go. And all of a sudden he shows up and he's just like, all right, let's fight. And then they go into the fight, and he's got the guy so frustrated from waiting around for an hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours, or however long it was. It's just a funny tactic. He did this repeatedly and would fuck with people and win. But I got a few quotes of his. The first one's long, so let me read it. There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get stronger, richer, or smarter. Everything is within. Seek nothing outside of yourself. So that's pretty hardcore. I have to take this in stages and piece it apart. There's nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get richer, stronger, or smarter. That's the first sentence. You know, a lot of people believe that all the knowledge of the universe is within you, genetically encoded in your DNA. All the knowledge of human evolution of the last 1.5 million years, or whatever it is, of human evolution is genetically encoded within you. It's in you. You have knowledge in you. Many times we think life is about learning, implying that we don't have anything in our vessel and we need to put something in there. We're going to learn it. We're going to acquire knowledge. But there's some people that believe that acquiring knowledge or learning is more about realizing, releasing, remembering, tapping into. So if you want to become stronger, or richer, or smarter, or become better in any way, all those skills are going to come from within you. You're not going to take some drug to do it. Not a magic spell is not going to do it. You're not going to pull a sword out of a stone and say, okay, now I'm king. You're going to have to pay your dues. All that energy and effort, when you can look back on a goal, that's you. You own that. You say, I did that. That's in you from the beginning. You realize that. The second sentence is kind of like what we're talking about. Everything is within. Seek nothing outside of yourself. So many of us search and search and search the world for meaning. All the meaning in life that you need, the belonging, the validation, the love, everything that you need, that you're searching for, is within. And people are like vampires and try to draw energy off of others so they can keep going. There's no forward growth in that. That's a blood-sucking game that you're bound to burn out on. Eventually you just suck everybody dry. We have this well within us that can fuel our fire, can keep us going. That's why they say motivation comes from within. And so many people seek motivation externally, go to motivational speakers and want certain aspects of personal coaching that is really just motivational coaching. Someone to say, you know, attaboy, you get at it every day. All that is from within. All that comes from within you. Because when it comes down to the actual act, the movement, the getting up, that was you that got up. So seek nothing outside of yourself. And these are quotes. I got two quotes here from Miyamoto Musashi, famous samurai warrior. I definitely suggest people to look into him. I'm no expert on the guy. I've seen a pretty cool, like 2-hour documentary online about him. And then I seen another documentary about him where this like modern day martial artist dude who's interested in samurai culture follows the footsteps of Miyamoto Musashi and kind of goes through this trek in Japan. And that's pretty cool too, because you learn a lot. But this guy is pretty right on dude. He talks about similar stuff like Sun Tzu and the Art of War. He talks about warriorship. He talks about battle, but a lot of this stuff can be put towards your regular life. That's why I like to talk about it. So his second quote that I have here is, "Get beyond love and grief. Exist for the good of man." I'll read that one just a second time. Get beyond love and grief. Exist for the good of man. So that's pretty hardcore. I heard that and I had to write that down. I like to talk about warriorship because I think that that's a proper way of living, of manhood, of masculinity. I think that that's where leadership comes from. That's what an alpha male should strive for, is that daily discipline that warriorship offers, that warriors practice. And a true warrior isn't caught up in the emotional roller coaster of everyday life like everybody else, the drama, the joys, the sorrows, the ups and downs, this getting caught up in love and in grief, like in this quote of Miyamoto Musashi. It's not that he doesn't experience that stuff, it just doesn't get caught up in it. He can remain kind of with an expansive mindset as the observer. It's like being above a tree line and seeing what's really going on. Get the higher ground and you can truly see the layout of the land and what you're working with, as opposed to just being down there in the woods, in those thick woods. You can't see shit. You don't really know where you're going. You get all turned around. You have no idea really what's going on. And that's kind of what it's like when you're caught up in emotion. Whether it's positive or negative, whether it's euphoric or torturing. The warrior detaches from that and keeps his goal as the good of man as their goal. So if it's a good time or a bad time, if it's a storm or if it's calm time, if it's love or pain, the ultimate goal that they're trying to fulfill every day, that they're working towards every day, is the good of man, a more righteous goal. They're staying. That's why I believe in being a righteous person, having strong convictions and having ideology, having beliefs. You got to have that ideological righteousness to keep you going. You're fighting for good, for the good of man, for the survival of your people, of your folk. And that's like Viking type shit. Even though these guys are samurais, samurais are down with that kind of stuff too. It just warriorship goes kind of across all cultures, you know. So This was the two quotes that I came up with for today that I wanted to talk about, and I hope I did them justice. If you're an expert on Miyamoto Musashi, please chime in and add something to this, because I think this guy is right on time. He's really fascinating, and I've been researching him a little bit. So thanks for watching.